Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Flashpoint Batman Night of Vengeance number 3, the final issue in the Night of Vengeance mini. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, out of all the Flashpoint material, the one thing I've been liking the most is the Batman Night of Vengeance. No, not because it's Batman, he's my favorite character. I know you guys are thinking that. I said this before and I'll say this again. It's not because of that. It's because the series has been good. It has good art, interesting concept, a cool take you could take on Batman for this Flashpoint universe, and it's well written with a lot of twists, turns, and shockers. Brian Azzarello really shows that he's a top-notch writer dealing with this series. So, it's been my favorite series up to this point for Flashpoint. It's enjoyable, it's been a fun ride, and it's been kind of a guilty pleasure. Because it's not actually Bruce, it's Thomas Wayne, but it's like an Elseworld story, so it's okay in that sense. So, with that said, let's see how much it fares up in issue number 3. Let's see if it closes up very nicely, because issue number 2 was a fantastic issue. Can issue number 3 live up to issue number 2 and close up this 3-issue series beautifully? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see. One small warning. Although I will not spoil the ending to issue number 3, I am going to have to spoil what happens in issue number 2. It's kind of a big thing that happens in issue number 2 that I'm going to have to talk about in issue number 3. It's unavoidable. So if you have not read issue number 2 or even issue number 1 and you want to go pick them up, or if you want to collect them when they come out in trade, I recommend that you don't watch this video because I will be throwing around this spoiler a lot. So just giving you guys a heads up. So with that said, let's talk about this. In issue number 2, just a little recap, we found out that Martha Wayne is actually the Flashpoint's universe Joker. Pretty interesting. Little spoiler. I told you I would be spoiling stuff. And she's causing trouble. Oh yeah, she's causing trouble. She kidnapped Harvey Dent's kids, propped one of them up to look like her, so when Commissioner Gordon jumped in, shot the kid by mistake, then slit Commissioner Gordon's throat. The issue picks up with Batman chasing after her, trying to save the kids, and he does a pretty good job at that, you know, taking all the beatings from the Joker, and chasing her down various hallways, outside, and about everywhere else. While this is happening, we're getting flashbacks to exactly what happened in the alley after Bruce got shot instead of Martha and Thomas. And we start to see the inevitable downfall of both characters. How one goes in the direction of becoming Batman, and one goes into the direction of becoming the Joker. The flashbacks are done in kind of a black and white, grayish color scheme. I almost want to dare say is a light brown. I don't quite remember, but you can clearly tell which is a flashback and then what's the present day story. But in the flashback, the blood is the only other thing that's colored. Obviously, red. It'd be kind of weird if Bruce had purple blood. Be kind of cool, but it'd be kind of weird. But the blood is the only thing that's really colored, which really adds to the flashback and also kind of foreshadows stuff that happens later on in the book. And then eventually Thomas Wayne, in the present day story, catches up with the Joker, Martha, and he tells her, "Oh, I have a chance to change this universe, to bring it back to what it should be, where Bruce is alive and we're dead." And for a second, Martha stops, and he says, "But I can't do it without your help." So the question is this: does Joker help out Batman in his mission to save the world and turn it back to what it was, to save his son? Will she be the wild card in issue number 5 of Flashpoint? Or will she not want to help Thomas Wayne and go on and start her killing spree like she usually does? Or is it something different? You're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. The flashback scenes were probably the most enjoyable ones in my opinion. They really added mood and tension to what's happening right now. And it's also allowing us to see exactly what went down and exactly how Martha Wayne became what she is. It wasn't an instantaneous thing. It was a progressional downfall of the character. Or rise if you want her to be the Joker, but I'm going to say downfall because it is. She's gone crazy, she's a murderer, and she kills kids. That's pretty bad. That's a downfall. So we get to see that, and it's very nicely done. The dialogue in this is good. The art in this is good, too. Bad. Well, first bad is that although the flashbacks were probably the best part, really, they kind of take away from the current story, the present story, because most of the story is just them running around, having little bits of dialogue here and there. It really kind of interferes with what could have been a great epic showdown between the two, where it's just a chase scene. Second bad is there's very little action. I mean, there's a chase scene, but that's about it. Most of the action is just her knocking him on the head with the hammer. That's really about it. Last bad to this is, and I don't want to seem like I'm ruining anything, but it has a kind of a cliche ending. Something that I saw coming from like a mile away. Something I didn't think Brian Esmeralda was going to do, but I guess he did do. So, whether or not you should get it. Well, issue number 3 is not as good as issue number 2. There's no doubt about that. Issue number 2 was a highlight of the whole entire series. However, it's still a good issue. It was fun, it was enjoyable, and it wrapped up the series. But it wasn't the best issue in the series. It probably was actually the low point out of the 3 issues. If I had to give them a rating, issue number 1 would be a solid B. Issue number 2 would be a B plus to A minus. Issue number 3 would be around a B minus to C. It's good. It didn't ruin the series, but didn't really add too much to it. On a whole, though, Batman Night of Vengeance is a good mini. It's a good tie-in. It's enjoyable. It stands alone on its own, but it doesn't have to. It can connect a little to Flashpoint's universe. A little. Just a little. I do recommend picking this up. I do. Despite the fact that it's not as good as the second issue, it's still enjoyable. And until I get issue number 3 of Aquaman and then the rest of Wonder Woman's, for me, on what I'm reading, this has been the best of the minis. We're just going to have to see, because I'm not going to say that statement 100% set in stone until I read the end of Aquaman and Wonder Woman. But, as of now, this has been enjoyable. So, Night of Vengeance, issue number 3, pretty good. Pick it up. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.